Hello, enchanted friends. Are you ready to get your sacred on? I'm back. Hi there. It's Brenda with Spirit Throw Me a Bone. So glad you could join me tonight. This is Spirit Throw Me a Bone, your spiritual lifestyle channel, where we coax spirit to throw us a bone by cultivating a relationship with the enchanted universe. So tonight we're going to get right into it by creating sacred space. So what I'd like to encourage you to do, if you are not already by your altar, then perhaps you can pick up your laptop and move there next to your altar, or perhaps you'd like to build an altar right now. So gather a few sacred objects, clear yourself a little space right next to you. You don't need a lot of space. You can just place some items on the floor in front of you, on the table right beside you. So I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to do that. And this is a no-no in YouTube land to like take a break at the beginning of the stream, but I'm going to do it anyways because I'm a rule breaker. So I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to play some music, to gather some sacred items, maybe grab a candle, light a candle, just so we can set the mood and be in sacred space together during this stream. So I will see you on the other side. Hi, I'm back. So did you guys get a little something for your altar? Did you get a candle? Did you get a few sacred objects? If not, that's cool. I'll just show you what I have on my altar, and then we'll get right on with creating sacred space. So here we go. Here's my altar. And what I have on my altar is I have 4 candles representing the 4 directions. My phone is on, making noise. 1 second. Better. Okay. So I have 4 candles representing the 4 directions and the 4 elements. And so when we create sacred space in my tradition, we create an energetic container, a circle, and we have the 4 elements and the 4 directions holding the 4 corners of the circle. And they act like sentinels, sort of, to hold the energetic space and hold the energy within the circle, and also to keep the distracting energies out of the circle. And so when we create this circle, we're going to do it together. We're going to create virtual sacred space together so that we're all in the same magical space. So when we do this, we'll start in the east, and then we'll go all the way around the circle and end up in the east again. And as we do that, we can envision like a blue light encircling all of us, no matter where we are on the planet, actually. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's get started. By the air that is her breath, let the eastern winds of curiosity and exploration open our minds and our hearts as we create sacred space together. By the fire of her bright spirit, let the southern flame illuminate the freedom of our unique expression of faith and ignite within us the will to know the divine in however she may present herself. By the waters of her living womb, let the western rivers flow with compassion for ourselves and others as we navigate of the tides connecting us to deep self and the all that is. And by the earth that is her body, let the land and all that grows upon it sustain us with our necessary connection to the realm of matter, Mother Earth, and her sacred cycles. As above, so below, we are in sacred space. See how easy that is? It doesn't need to be complicated. And an altar doesn't need to be really elaborate either. You know, in many traditions, they are elaborate, and during many celebrations, you know, calling the directions and constructing the circle is a very beautiful ritual that takes a lot of time and intention. But, you know, that's fine, but we don't always have to do it that way. The point is that we want to be able to enter sacred space whenever we really want to. And so it doesn't need to be complicated. So anyway, just a couple things on my altar. I have some incense here. Let me crank this up. I love the incense that you put on charcoal. I don't know if you guys have ever done that before, as opposed to stick incense. And I just put some ground up frankincense on there. And what happened to my east candle? Did I not light it? There we go. Yeah. And then I just have some crystals. I have some amethyst, and I have representation of the goddess. This is Artemis, the tomboy of the goddesses. And then I have this representing the god, because it's like antlers, the horned god. So I like to have both the god and the goddess represented on my altar for balance. You know, we all have the masculine and feminine energies within us, and so we want both represented. I've got my tarot cards here and another deck of cards that's just a deck of different goddess cards. And so that's it really quickly. Oh, and this is Kyr. Let me introduce you to Kyr. Kyr is very special to me. Kyr is the goddess of dreams and prophecy. And there's a beautiful Celtic myth called the Dream of Angus, and it's a love story. And Kyr is the heroine of that love story. Okay, so we are in sacred space. So now let's visit with the celestial gods and goddesses and check in with the weather forecast. Hi, back again. So, the big news with astrological weather is, of course, the full moon eclipse that came through last night or early this morning, 12:45 a.m. Full moon eclipse in Capricorn. And so we know that eclipses, they are like full moons on steroids. Okay, so they're really intense energies, lunar energies in this case, um, and they shine a light on whatever area of life, or if you're thinking about the collective, whatever areas or circumstances of life or being that correspond to the sign of the zodiac that the moon is in. So this full moon eclipse is at 13 degrees of Capricorn. And so all full moons are by definition in opposition. So that means you've got the moon on one side and the sun on the other, and the sun is shining its light and illuminating the moon. So with this full moon in Capricorn, the opposition is with its opposite sign of Cancer. And so the celestial gods and goddesses are asking us to balance those energies. And so the energy of Capricorn, ruled by Saturn, is very practical. It's all about discipline and hard work, restriction even. And whereas the energy of Cancer is a lot more touchy-feely. The Cancerian energy is about certainly the emotions. Is also about home and family and tribe. So you've got that practical energy of Capricorn opposed with the more emotional and watery energy of Cancer. And so the trick is to find a balance between the two. So it's interesting because we see these energies playing out in the collective right now in the world. We see that, we've got the government systems that are in some cases cracking down and coming at us with like restrictions and limitations and boundaries. On the other hand, you see the tribal influence of Cancer, where people are, you've got the Black Lives Matter movement, and then you've got the heritage of the this whole debate over the Confederate statues and monuments coming down. That's kind of a tribal and an energy that's very Cancerian because it's about legacy and tradition. So you see it in the collective, but what we also like to know and probably are more interested in many cases is how this eclipse energy is affecting us personally. So in order to know that, you need to know what your rising sign is. And so if you're familiar with astrology, you know that I'm speaking about the portion of the sky that's rising on the eastern horizon at the moment of your birth. It's also called the ascendant. And the way to know what that is to have your natal chart calculated. And you need the birth time specifically to get the rising sign. And so if you've never had your chart calculated, never had a professional astrology reading, don't know what your rising sign is, you can go to my website, sacredfusion.com, and you can get a free natal chart. I will email one to you, but I just need your time of birth, date of birth, and location of birth. So that's sacredfusion.com, and you'll see on there underneath the shop tab, you can order the natal chart, or there's a button to subscribe at the bottom of every page. That's another way to navigate to the place where you can order your birth chart. So I was really hoping tonight to be able to, like interact with you guys with comments and whatnot, but this is only the second time I've done this live stream, so I can't like figure out how I'm supposed to get the comments to show up here, which is unfortunate. I got my phone here and I can see some people who are joining me on Facebook. Hello, Jennifer. Nice to have you with us. And Julie, thank you so much for joining us. Donna Elmore. What a blast from the past. So glad you're with us, Donna. And of course, Daniel, drummer extraordinaire, and my good friend and partner with Sacred Fusion Drum Circles is here. And hi, Aaron. I see you too. Thank you so much for joining us. And yeah. Okay, so I don't know who's joining us on YouTube. I'm only able to see here on, I think Wendy, you might be with me from YouTube. Anyhow, so what we were talking about before I got distracted by saying hello to everyone is that let's talk about how these might be affecting all of us personally. Okay, so like I was going to ask you to tell me what your rising signs are if you know it, but since I can't get that feedback from you, unless, let me see here. I don't know if you can make a comment, if I'll be able to see it here, if you comment on Facebook, because I see, Aaron, where you're saying, hi, Brenda. So you might want to try to comment to me there. But in the meantime, what I'll do is I'll just go through individually all of these rising signs and how the eclipse is striking charts based on rising sign. We'll start with Aries, okay, if you have Aries rising. So there we go. I want to switch this. Hold on, guys. There we go. All right, well, you're not going to see me for now. I'll just keep that off. So Aries rising, if you have Aries rising, the eclipse energy is hitting your 10th house. And so that's all about career and what you do out in the world. Even if you're not working, it's just basically, what your rep is out in the world. And so with the Capricorn eclipse energy hitting you there, that's where the focus is. And, this is the third time that we've had a Cancer Capricorn eclipse. I think it's going to be the third and last time. The first one we had was in January. So you might want to think back, Aries rising, to what was going on in January. So there's just a shining of the light, of the lunar light in your 10th house, Aries rising. And so you may notice, some coming up against authority, and maybe some that somehow relates to home and family as well because of the Cancer influence. And if you have Taurus rising, it's striking your 9th house. And so the 9th house is about your beliefs, philosophies, religion, foreign travel, real focus on those areas. And again, and these eclipse energies will last about 6 months until the next lunar eclipse. And that goes for everybody. All right, let me see. Okay, so Gemini rising, it's your 8th house. And so that's a focus on the resources of others, maybe your partner's resources and income. Also debts and obligations, taxes, um, debts that are coming due, or money that is coming to you that's not self-earned. And Cancer rising. Cancer rising, it's striking your seventh house. So that is your relationships and anything having to do with partners, like a business partner, even anybody that you're in a one-to-one relationship with. Leo rising, that's your sixth house, the house of work and toil, service, and also health. So focus on those areas in your life. Um, Maybe it's just a period of really hard work, a lot, and it can be very productive, actually. Or it could just feel just like a lot of responsibility, over the next few months in the areas where you serve others um, and work. And also, health issues are highlighted as well because it is the sixth house. And so just be aware there is some focus there. And where are we now? Virgo rising is the fifth house, house of children, or anything you do for pleasure. It's the ancients called it the joy of Venus. So anything that you do for fun, any pleasurable pursuits, the focus for this eclipse is on your fifth house, house of children, house of pleasure. Libra rising. Okay, the focus is all on home, family, tribe, foundation. Can also represent the father. So Capricornian and Cancerian energies relative to things having to do with home and family. Scorpio rising, your third house. It's about your siblings, your neighbors, communication, technology, travel, short-term or short-distance travel, any kind of commerce. Sag rising, it's your second house. This is about your money as opposed to the eighth house we spoke about earlier. This is about your money, your resources, what you're growing, what you are building. Capricorn rising, this is your first house. You're taking this eclipse energy the most personally of all. And it's in your first house, which is your house of self-concept, your identity, initiative, self-initiative, and also could be the physical body. So it can relate to health in some ways as well. Aquarius rising, your 12th house. The eclipse energies are revealing what might be hidden. That's all things hidden. Hidden enemies, your own shadow, also can highlight issues of self-sabotage, just bringing up things that may not be typically in your awareness. Can also highlight the need for seclusion and just to be away from it all. And last but not least, Pisces rising. The focus is on the 11th house, house of friends, groups, communities, allies. Okay, so that was a quick spin through the signs. Okay, Aaron says Scorpio rising. Julie says, no clue what I am, even though you told me before, haha. Hi, OC. OC's watching. Thank you, OC, for joining us. Okay, let's see. What do we got next here? Hi, me again. All right. Go away. Okay, so if you guys, I'm so glad that you came to be with me tonight. So I would like to ask you if you do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. If you're on YouTube, I would really very much appreciate it. So go ahead and tickle it. Tickle the like button and show me some love. And this my hope with this channel is that we build a community here. And next week, I will have figured out how to get the comments going so that we can really interact better. But for now, I just want to thank you for joining me again tonight and um, talk a little bit more about the idea behind this channel. So, the title being Spirit Throw Me a Bone. And the idea is that, we live in an enchanted universe. We just seem to have forgotten that. We are part of an enchanted universe, an enchanted cosmos. We are not separate from it. Modern man has, through enlightenment and the development of the rational mind, has come to see things outside of the human experience as separate. And that the planets and Mother Earth herself and the trees and the animals are all objectified by modern man. And we've gotten away from this notion that we're all connected. And when we are all connected, we realize that we do, in fact, live in an enchanted universe. And whenever we experience synchronicity or some type of message that we might receive from the divine, whether it's a message that we receive from a loved one on the other side, or it's just coming across a spirit animal in our travels that gives us a healing message. All of these things are evidence of the enchanted universe that we live in, and it's out there for us to connect with, but we just need to pay attention and be open to it, which is why we create sacred space, because that's a way to signal to spirit that we're ready to receive and to connect. And there's nothing more awe-inspiring, I feel, than the grace that we receive when we experience one of these moments. Like I said, whether it's just a really cool synchronicity or something far more dramatic. In any case, so that is the purpose of this channel, to develop that awareness of the enchanted universe and to cultivate that type of connection. And so I hope you subscribe, and I hope you join us every Sunday night at 8:30. So this is a short stream, so I'm not going to keep you too long on Sunday night. It's time for all of us to wind down and prepare for the week. But before you go, I'd like to tell you a story. So circle around and I'll tell you a story. The goddess, standing before the vastness of infinity, gazed upon the deep blue canvas of the cosmos and became overfilled with love. And this love became the desire to create. In her right hand appeared a brush. With a sweeping motion from east to west, she painted an arc of brilliant fixed stars. And as she lifted the brush from the canvas, the arc stretched into a complete circle with no beginning and no end. The fixed stars took their places upon the spinning canvas and became enchanted and formed themselves into images. The ram, the bull, the twins, the crab, the lion, the virgin, 12 enchanted images in all. And they rode the spinning canvas like a Ferris wheel, rising in the east and setting in the west, only to rise in the east again and again. You guessed it. The eternal march of the constellations of the zodiac. The goddess stood back and admired her creation, and again became overfilled with love and the desire to create. In her left hand appeared a brush. Lifting it to the spinning canvas of the cosmos, from west to east, she painted the 7 wandering stars. The sun shone brightest at the center, The moon. She waxed and waned as she drew both near and far from the sun's light. Venus, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, and Saturn all wandered about the cosmos, moving in and out of rhythm with one another, dancing to a symphony of planetary vibration. Once again, the goddess stood back to admire her creation, and once again became overfilled with love and the desire to create. This time, she opened both arms, and between them stretched a gorgeous blue planet. The goddess gently placed the earth upon the spinning canvas of the cosmos. So pleased was she with her beautiful blue planet that she blew the breath of life upon earth, causing oceans to roll and rivers to flow, and mountains to grow hillsides of green and caps of white. She touched the earth lightly, setting it in motion, a spinning sphere surrounded by her celestial canopy of fixed and wandering stars, bathed in the fiery warmth of the sun and the ever-changing glow of the moon. Contemplating her creation, beautiful as it was with the fixed and wandering stars and the gorgeous blue planet, still, the goddess knew her creation was not yet complete. And so it was that she imagined gods and goddesses to inhabit her celestial realm. And to each she assigned their own planet and their own constellation. She crowned them as divine emissaries to the earth and the realm of matter. Upon earth, she placed humans. Composed of the elements of air, fire, water, and earth, they were, like all mortal creatures, born and reborn within the sacred cycles of birth, death, and rebirth. Though bound by the laws of matter and subject to the karmic instructions of the celestial gods and goddesses, humans carried within their hearts a unique star, the final touch of the goddess. A star that pulsed with the essence of the Creator herself. A star that illuminated within all humans consciousness and free will, so that they too would experience love and the desire to create. And so the story is told of how the cosmos was created from the mind of the goddess. So, my friends, we're about to end here, but I wanted to offer you a challenge. And that is, over the coming week, to make a note to yourself, to be open to receiving from the Enchanted universe a message. Allow Spirit to throw you a bone. Just pay attention, and it will be so. And one way to remind yourself to do that is just to journal every day and write down what that little synchronicity was. Even if you think it was a coincidence, just write it down. And then when we come back next week, we can compare notes. Okay, but the important thing to do is just to take the time to notice. So we're going to close the circle now, and we'll do it together. We want to just not close the circle. We'll open the circle, and we'll do it together.
Well, here we go, around again, and back we've come, still here I am. This is non-random, tandem orbit, we're forever kin, I'm right here with you. Oh, holy, holy, and blessed be, I am your friend. You are to me a most precious right here with you. Everywhere you go, I'm right here with you. In case you needed to know if I was here, I'm right here with you.
I was
We're
near
like
this
the
whole
stars in the sky. They are made of light.
Until next
and
week,
just
guys.
like you and I,
Be well,
they
be
are
true, be
closely
sacred.
tied. We're of the same constellation. That's how we make it through the night. I'm right here with you. We made a vow, kept it right from the start, to help extract the poison from our medicine heart. Oh, I just wanna thank you for doing your part. I promise you that I'll always do mine. So in all our emotions, we've made a web. Our path is woven. We're common threads. There is nothing you could do to shake me loose. I've got you, I've got you. I'm not leaving. So go climb your mountain and know your name. The call you answer springs from the same flame I do. And as you take your leap, just know that fall or fly into the deep, I'm right here with you. Everywhere you go, I'm right here with you. Everywhere you go, I'm right here with you. In case you needed to know if I was here, I'm right here with you. We're like the stars in the sky. They are made of light, and just like you and I, they are closely tied. We're of the same constellation. That's how we make it through the night. I'm right here with you. Everywhere you go, I'm right here